What's up, kiddos? ESPN 710 Overtime, kind of a special edition. Last ever Around the Horn for me, so we'll do a little behind the scenes. Come on in. You're wondering why I've got this look on my face, is because it's weird to think this is the last time I'm gonna do this. And I've done this in more places than I think any other panelist has in terms of shot shows. Every single city that you've ever seen on Around the Horn, I've shot in. New York, Boston, Chicago, Miami, Dallas, Denver, obviously LA, there's two. So we're going with sort of a tuxedo style white for the occasion. Loose bow tie. Shouts to T.I. in the Swagger Like Us Grammys performance. Once you get makeup on your face, you can't pull things over your head. So if you're gonna change your shirt, you gotta change it first. Let's go to makeup. This is makeup. This is where it all goes down. They make everybody look good. Normally, the TVs are on, everybody's in here yapping. This is where all the secrets are told. The shadow knows. It's like graduating from something, you know?
Yeah, from something.
But it's like the school's also closing, you know what I'm saying? So it's, you know what I mean? Like that's.
Wait, that's exciting.
That's what it's, you know what I mean?
Analogy.
It's like, it's weird. Like, I don't know,
So
you know,
good.
but very grateful. Made a lot of friends. This is also, the makeup room is where you meet a lot of people too. Like, because everybody's doing different shows. The makeup rooms in Bristol, crazy. I think that's probably the biggest thing that is disappointing. It's like you can't, like it's one thing to say you've done a cool job. It's another thing to say you do a cool job. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's like now it's like, well, I used to do this thing. And I'm not one of those people, so like I'm not gonna find myself talking to anybody else about it ever, but like, you know, it's really happening. It's fun. All right, we're done? Sweet, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We're gonna go on my little ritual that I do every day before the show. Secret weapon, Arizona iced tea. So typically I'll come out here outside and just chill out for a little bit before I really lock into game mode. Sometimes there'll be people milling about out here and you can people watch for a little bit. Nobody here today though. Sort of a, you're not gonna see this, but sort of a wedding after party vibe. I was gonna get a jacket with a black lapel, but it was too late to scramble, and I don't know. Honestly, I got a little upset, and I was like, why am I putting this much effort into something that's going away? But it is what it is. So, got my computer, got my pencil, got my lotion. Let's go. Nobody home yet, even better. Time to do a little preparando.
It's kicking in.
It's kicking in. I think it's kicking in too because, you know, ultimately, I don't know how much more fun I've ever had doing a job. You know, it's one of those things where like, and I've told this story before, but you know, I watched this show in college. I remember the first day it started, and it was a big deal to me. And my friends, you know, I was one of those guys that my friends liked sports as much as I did, but me and a buddy who actually works at ESPN, Matt Garrett, we just happened to be sports journalists in the major. And so all of our interests collided somewhere, but one thing we all did was we watched Around the Horn and PTI. We called it church at college, literally. And you know, guys would text each other, you're gonna be home for church, or whatever, and it was like, all right, well, no, one of us can't be there, so we're DVRing it, and we'll wait, you know what I'm saying, so that everybody can watch it together. And, you know, to have ended up on the show, and I got a text message from the guys earlier, and they were like, dude, one last ride, time to spread the gospel. And I was like, I almost started crying before I even left my house, you know, because the dudes I used to argue with, just like we do this show, get to watch their buddy now, and it's so fulfilling to be able to, you know, I don't know, give back, because guys like that are the reasons why I like doing this at all. So that is where it really gets emotional. But yeah, so when I started this in DC, I was on the radio in DC at that point, and people would come up to me and they would just say, man, thanks for representing us, because I think what a lot of people don't understand about my demographic is that I'm from DC, I'm 44, and when I was 10, DC was the murder capital of the United States, and crack era hit pretty hard. So think about how that extrapolates with incarceration and murder rates and drug usage and all that. That what it meant was just not a lot of brothers my age made it out of DC. That wasn't like something that happened. And so to get to be able to platform on a certain level, the people that did make it didn't normally see people in my generation that could speak for them. So there was a real demographic connectivity, you know what I'm saying, to what I was lucky enough to be able to do. And it's translated a lot into the feedback that I've been able to get and, people who supported me just trying to kick the truth over the years, so that part is the most important. Thank you, appreciate that. So, yeah, man. I'll never forget going back to my barbershop after a couple years and they were just like, you're never waiting in line here again. And I was like, thank you, I appreciate that, Those are the 4 boxes. And the box in the middle that you're on right now, that's the actual air show. The top one is an ISO on Tony, and the others are the other panelists.
How much time do you usually spend?
That depends. Sometimes it's just a matter of watching a game. Sometimes it's a matter of seeing a game and then, getting some additional sort of statistical backdrop for it. Shouts to Caroline Willette, who does so much of that so well, putting together information packets. That's obviously also sidebar. That's the thing that this show does better than almost every other show in the network, in my experience, is get the host ready for what you're going to do. Not that they tell anybody what to say, not even remotely, but if you want to be smart, you basically intake the information and you got no way of not learning if you're actually paying attention. So that's a big part of it. Marcel entering your home. Appreciate it. Courtney and I coordinated outfits, so we're working on getting a picture for it. Normally, we sit at 11. We start taping probably around now, and then it takes about, on a tough day, if there's a couple busts are when somebody says something that's wrong or somebody just fumbles it, and we got to restart the block. That doesn't happen too often, especially if Woody Page isn't there. Ha, that's a joke. But so I imagine today's taping is going to take a little longer than normal.
The most clutch paddle in around the horn history, Clinton Yates.
The reason why my bow tie's loose, no choking. First of all, I will remind you that the Pacers almost won the NBA Cup last year, so if you're just now seeing them, that's on you. I'm kidding.
Clinton Yates, FaceTime.
When I first met Tony Reale, he wasn't even the show host of this program, but he used to come on my college radio program where I used to watch this show with my buddies, Cox, Kyle, Paulie, Gary, Chaba, what up? And I never thought I'd be in this position. I never thought I'd be in the position of getting back to this program and introducing my little brother, my father, and my son on the program. But now that we are here and we've come all this way, I just want to point out this show and the viewers have made me a better person overall and making sure that I remembered I could believe in myself and represent something that everybody was going to enjoy. Thank you so much, everyone, over the years. Yep. Okay. Thanks, man. Love you, Aaron.
Don't be a stranger. All right. See y'all. Yeah. All right, Court. That's it. Last one. Sucks. But a lesson I learned a long time ago when I took a chance on coming to Los Angeles, people told me, people at the station, that they would welcome me into the family and that I could do this as well as anybody. I learned a simple lesson, which is that's showbiz, baby. Thanks, everybody. ESPN 710 Overtime. Last around the horn.
Mina Kimes, Sarah, Spain, Israel Gutierrez, and in his first career
Oh,
appearance.
you're too choked up there.
Man, this is just so emotional for me. Hello, Clinton. I didn't know I was mic'd up. How you doing?
I'm good, Tony. How are you?
Good. This is an incredible thing. I mean, I was getting
know.
emotional just thinking about. I was literally getting choked up thinking about it yesterday, and now here we are.
I appreciate that.
Here we are. So this is Clinton's TV wardrobe. I was
No,
fully
that's
expecting
not
you.
true.
It's not? Okay.
I normally, if it wasn't the first time, I would have worn something different. But I was like,
okay.
you know what?
First time, first
I don't
impression.
want my mom to be pissed off.
This
you
is
know what I'm
great because
saying?
through the years, we always go back at people's first appearances. So we'll
Exactly.
get to a point where you're wearing a backwards hat, sunglasses upside down on your head.
That'll be next show.
And I've known Clinton Yates for 15 years.
God. Wow.
Yep.
Wow,
I walked
really?
into that studio.
There were two
As a
people,
college
two
kid.
guys who came up strong when they were in college, and they both have come to now work with us.
At the time, though, I bum rushed Tony at his radio show,
Yeah.
ESPN Zone.
Yeah.
He was like, "You want to come hang out at PTI?" I was like, "Sure."
And then he's at my side for a taping or two twice a year.
Yeah.
For the first 2 years, he's doing radio shows. I'm on his radio show on a weekly or monthly basis, whatever it was, for a little while. We had him in. We hosted him all these times. You could see he wanted to
Now
figure
I'm
out
here.
his place in the business, and the business finally caught up to him, not the other way around.